The Code Violet devs are in the FAFO stages of their release because the journalists and wokies they tried to pander to were saying this game is bad because of the horny camera work and the sexy skins, while the gamers who would have supported them and enjoyed this content are pointing and laughing at them online because the developers are hypocrites, the developers attacked us, and the developers didn't want our dollars, and now basically everybody is roasting them online, and it's not looking good for their launch. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, as I always say, developers should be given the choice to put sexy costumes in their game or to not put those in their title. They can make whatever content they want. I even say that about the Dustborns and the Concords and the High Guards, but that doesn't mean that you deserve our praise just for doing what exactly you want, because when you go on to attack people who expected something different and you go on to attack people who are calling out your hypocrisy, yeah, that's a really bad look because these developers are hypocrites. They said that they would not release it on PC because they did not want vulgar mods made of their character. They didn't want you over-sexualizing this lead character, but what do? Go ahead and give you lingerie in the game, and if you look at all of the teasers and trailers, they definitely market it with sex appeal. There's constantly images of the character's butt and her cleavage, and I personally don't mind, again, if the developers don't want a focus on sex appeal in their title, but they can't be hypocrites and say, oh, you can't sexualize the character, but we can, and then we can put that in our game. It just doesn't look good. And even the journalists are now attacking this title, saying, oh, the sexy costumes and the horny camera work go against the tone of the game. And they're also just saying it's dated, it's buggy, it's not a great experience, which, as I always say, I do not trust video game journalists, but I personally will not be giving this a shot myself because these developers blocked me, or their community manager blocked me. The community manager has blocked many people, and ultimately I am not going to give them my dollars. You can if you want. If you think this game looks good, I hope you buy it. I hope that you enjoy it. But it is just very interesting to see the journalists saying, yeah, it's not good, when these are the exact types of people that the Code Violet team clearly wanted their game to appeal to. I mean, even IGN said Code Violet is not the Dino Crisis successor you may have hoped for. It doesn't even clear the bar of being a successful clone of the various other third-person shooters it cribs most of its ideas from. Its maps layout are dated, the visual style was a letdown. Push Square said Code Violet is a mess. Crummy combat, tedious exploration, technical problems, the sexy costumes, and horny camera work seem at odds with both Violet as a character and the tone of the writing. Even at 6 hours long, it's tough to recommend. And while on one side you have the journalists and really the wokies attacking it, now gamers are pointing and laughing too. I mean, I know I had said it's too bad modders can't fix this one, because I will still buy a game to support developers who are putting their best foot forward, even if it's not a 10 out of 10, even if it needs mods. Some of my favorite games need to be modded, like Skyrim. A vanilla Skyrim is definitely showing its age now. I still have fun with it, but with mods, it becomes a phenomenal experience. But they said they didn't appreciate modders. They said that they weren't releasing it on PC because of modders. And so I just have to really look at the base experience, and it's definitely not worth full freaking price. They expect you to pay $50 for a buggy and broken game. Yeah, it's just not going to happen with the way that this studio has acted. Now, Pirate Nation had made this post about this, and the developers actually responded, or again, the social media manager, whoever is running this account, we don't really know, but one would deduce it's one or the other, said the fans and players love Code Violet, which, by the way, they said this yesterday when the game hadn't even come out yet. I assume they mean people loved the way that the teasers and trailers looked, but technically fans and players couldn't love Code Violet to the fullest, but the opinions of two individuals who didn't like it have no effect. Code Violet has been and continues to be a massive success. Our fans and players are the ones who matter, which is just so hilarious because the two individuals they are talking about, I'm assuming, are me and Pirate Nation. We have been talking about Code Violet quite a bit. They are really upset by our comments on this topic, but maybe they just mean two individuals, as in, oh my god, there's like two guys who hate it. And they're not being serious. Either way, though, that's clearly not the case, as there are hundreds to thousands of people who are commenting online saying it looks bad. I mean, even on my videos, right? 25K views, hundreds of comments, people saying, yeah, I'm going to pass on this. But it's just unfortunate when developers really dig themselves deeper into a hole. They, a couple of weeks ago, had gone on this blocking spree. If they had reversed that and said, you know what, we were too hasty, we got a little bit personally bothered, we're sorry, we've unblocked everybody, I would say, let's let bygones be bygones. Have a conversation with me about this game. Maybe you can clarify a little bit better why you didn't want your game on PC. I would have tried to give them a chance to basically say, we love modders, this just isn't the direction we wanted to take our game in. But nope, they've doubled, tripled, quadrupled down, and whoever's running this social media account has made it so plenty of people are not buying their game now. If you have to assert that something is a great success, it probably isn't. Taking a shit on the entire PC gaming community is not something you wash yourself of with words. You won't learn until you're completely bankrupt and out of a job and embarrassed to say that you work there on your resumes. Activism has no place in gaming. We'll be emulating this as soon as possible just to put lewd mods on it. We'll tag you so that you can enjoy people. Laughing, saying, it's good to hear you have a strong, dedicated player base. They can definitely help bring up the game with community-driven content once it ports to PC, right? IGN 4 out of 10, Push Square 4 out of 10, IGN Spain 4 out of 10, 4 News 4.9, Game Only 1.25 out of 5. And as I will say, I do not trust video game journalists. There are plenty of people who are streaming it themselves, but I've already seen a little bit of content surrounding this title, and it does not look good. This might actually be one of those extremely rare instances where journalists and gamers are aligned. And looking over on the PlayStation Store, the ratings so far are a 2.92 out of 1,447 ratings. There are 34% 5-star, 8% 4-star, 11% 3-star, 11% 2-star, and 37% 1-star. So there are more 1-stars than there are 5-stars. And I do think for the 5-stars, these are clearly people who are trying to like reverse review bomb it and leave positive scores, but they can't even positively affect this game clearly, as there are still more 1 and 2 stars than there are 5 stars and 4 stars, which is pretty hilarious to see. So yes, it doesn't look like things are going really positively for Team Kill Media and Code Violet, and if you bought this game, I hope you play it, I hope you love it, I hope you think it is amazing, but it doesn't seem like the first impressions are extremely positive, and well, I think that because their game is facing so much backlash, it's only going to lead Team Kill Media's social media manager or developer into double, tripling, and quadrupling down on the attacks they are levying against their critics. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.